Very good morning to all. Now we are starting with another chapter in the unit 1. The chapter is human reproduction. Now let us discuss about human reproductive system. What is reproduction? Reproduction can be defined as the production of one or more offspring by an existing organism. The human reproductive system is essential for the survival of the species. Why organisms should reproduce? Why particularly humans should reproduce? Because an individual may live long, healthy life without producing an offspring, but reproduction is essential for the existence of a species, so that reproduction is inevitable for the existence of the species. Next, let us see about what are the events in human reproduction. This is not in a single steps. These involved in many steps. There are 9 steps which are involved in the human reproductive system. First one is gametogenesis, formation of gametes. If it is a male gamete, the sperms are produced by spermatogenesis. If it is an egg or ovum formation, that is known as oogenesis. Next one is the insemination, transfer of male gamete into the female genital tract or reproductive tract is known as insemination. After insemination, fertilization will take place. What is fertilization? The fusion of male and female gamete to form a zygote is known as fertilization. After fertilization, the zygote will start to move the place where the fallopian tube to the uterus. During this process undergoes cleavage. Cleavage means splitting. Here the single celled zygote develops into split into 2 cells into 4 into 8. Ultimately a mass of cell structure. The round-like structure is known as blastocyst. This process is known as cleavage. After cleavage, implantation takes place. Implantation means fixing. Here the attachment of a blastocyst of the uterine wall is known as implantation. Next one is the placentation. Placentation means formation of placenta, which is the connection between the baby and the mother is the formation of placenta. What is the main function of placenta? The main function of placenta is to exchange of nutrients to the baby. Next one is the gastrulation, the formation of 3 germs layer. What are the 3 germs layer? One is ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. After gastrulation, organogenesis will take place. After the formation, after the 3 germs layer will give rise to various organ and system. So organ formation will take place in the organogenesis. Last one is the parturition. Once the organ formation is completed, the structure of fully developed embryo come out of the uterus or mother's womb. This is known as parturition. Before we understand the process of gametogenesis, that is how the male and female gametes are formed, it is very important to understand the structure of the reproductive system in human beings, because we do not know the structure of gamete formation. For that purpose, let us try to understand the male and female reproductive system. First, let us talk about the male reproductive system in humans. In male reproductive system, these 2 pictures shows how the sperms are produced by male reproductive system. This is the side view of the male reproductive system. This picture is the front view of the male reproductive system. These 2 pictures explain about how the sperms are produced by male reproductive system. Now let us discuss about male reproductive system in detail. Male reproductive system contains 2 sex organs. One is the primary sex organ and another one is the secondary sex organ. What are the primary sex organ? A pair of testes is the primary sex organ. What are the secondary sex organ? Accessory ducts, accessory glands and external genitalia. All these parts are the secondary sex organs. First, let us discuss about primary sex organ. A pair of testes present in the primary sex organ. Why do we call them testis as a primary sex organ? Because it is responsible for the sperm production and also secrete a hormone. That's why testis is the primary sex organ, whereas in secondary sex organ they do not produce a sperm and secrete a hormone, so that testis is the primary sex organ. Here you can able to see the oval shape structure. This is the front view of the male reproductive system. This region, this part, oval shape part is the testis, 2 in number. In singular testis and plural testes, T-E-S-E-S. Then the testis is situated outside the abdominal cavity. This region is the scrotum. Why scrotum is present outside the body? If you see here, the male reproductive system, particularly this area, the scrotum is present outside. We could able to see the scrotum externally. That's why when the gametogenesis occurs in the male reproductive system, the sperm cells are produced in the favorable temperature. The scrotum is placed outside the abdominal cavity to provide a temperature of 2 to 2.5 degree lower than the normal body temperature. So, cooling temperature is important for the sperm production. Scrotum also acts as a thermoregulator. In a normal body temperature is 37 degree centigrade. As we all know about, normal human body temperature is 37 degree centigrade. But spermatogenesis requires 2 to 2.5 degree lower than the normal body temperature. So always we should say we should not keep lap-term overlap in male, particularly in males, because it will affect the sperm production. Heat will affect the scrotum temperature, so that scrotum acts as a thermoregulator. Next one is the cryptorchizum. It is an important term. Generally, testes come to lie in scrotum during the 7th month of the pregnancy. But if fails to come to lie in scrotum, that condition is cryptorchizum. What is cryptorchizum? The failure of one or both testes to lie down into the scrotal sac is called cryptorchizum. It's a very important term. This can be asked as a short answer question. What is cryptorchizum? The failure of one or both testes to lie down into the scrotal sac is called cryptorchizum. Generally, the testes come to lie in scrotum during the 7th month of the pregnancy. But in some babies, it fails to come to lie in scrotum. That condition is cryptorchizum. So, the testes fail to come to lie in scrotum, which means they are present inside the abdominal cavity, and because inside the abdominal cavity the temperature is very high, so that it will affect the formation of sperm. It will suppress the formation of sperm. So this could result in infertility. It occurs in 1 to 3% of the newborn male babies. It could be rectified in the younger age, unless these male babies may become sterile, or they are not able to produce a viable sperms, right? Next let us see about the cross section of the testes. Testis means singular form. Testis is the plural form. Each testis is covered by an outermost covering called tunica albuginea. This is the tunica albuginea. This is the outermost covering of the testis. It is a capsule-like structure. Then each testis contains 200 to 250 compartments or lobules called testicular tubules or testicular lobules. Each lobules containing 2 to 4 coiled structure called seminiferous tubule. This part is the seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules structure is known as the seminiferous tubules. Then seminiferous tubules is made up of 2 types of cells. One is spermatogonic cells or male germ cells. and another cell is Sertoli cells or nerve cells. What are the function of the Sertoli cells? Sertoli cells is to provide nourishment to the sperm till maturation. It secretes a hormone called inhibin, which is involved in the negative feedback control of sperm production. What do you mean by negative feedback? It controls the excess of sperm production. That means negative feedback control of sperm production. What is the function of Sertoli cell? This can be asked as a short answer question or 3-mark question. What is the function of Sertoli cells? Sertoli cells is to provide nourishment to the sperm till maturation. It is the function of Sertoli cells. In between the seminiferous tubules, this is the seminiferous tubules. In between 2 to 4 coiled structure called seminiferous tubules, already we have studied. In between these seminiferous tubules, one or more type of cell is present. That cell is known as Leydig cells or interstitial. Then what are the function of the Leydig cell? Leydig cell secrete a hormone. That hormone is androgen. The major male sex hormone is testosterone. Next, let us study about the accessory duct. What are the accessory duct are present in the male reproductive system? They are red testis, epididymis, vas deferens and vas efferentia. These 4 are the accessory ducts. These are present in the male reproductive system. Next, let us talk about the accessory glands. What are the accessory glands present in the male reproductive system? There are 3 types of accessory glands present in the male reproductive system. One is seminal vesicle. Next one is pulpourethral gland or Cowbus gland. Then last one is the prostate gland. These 3 are the accessory glands present in the male reproductive system. Now let us discuss about accessory ducts. What are the accessory ducts present in the male reproductive system? One is red testis. Red testis is a tubular network on the posterior side of the testis. This picture, let us see the cross section of the testis. Here you can able to see this region. This region is the red testis. Red testis is a tubular network on the posterior side of the testis. The sperm leaves from this red testis area and enters into the epididymis. Actually, the epididymis parts are divided into 3 parts. One is this is the head of epidermis. Then this region is the middle of the epidermis, and this last one is the tail of the epididymis. Here, the sperm leaves from the red testis and enter into the epididymis. Then epididymis continue a long tube called vas deferens. Then vas deferens, which ends in a bulged area called the ambula, and the sides of the ambula is connected with the seminal vesicle. These 2 parts we can able to see in the front view of the male reproductive system. And the end of the ambula is connected with the ejaculatory duct. So next picture clearly shows the ambula. The sides of the ambula is connected with the seminal vesicle. The end of the ambula is connected with the ejaculatory duct. Let us see the front view of this picture. Here you can able to see the testis, the primary sex organ. The testis is followed by the epidermis. Epidermis is connected with a long tube. This is the long tube. This tube is the vas deferens. Then the vas deferens ends in a bulged area. This region is called the ambula. And the sides of the ambula we have a seminal vesicle. So this is the seminal vesicle. And the ends of the ambula we have the ejaculatory duct. The end we have the ejaculatory duct. Then all the parts are inside the body of the male reproductive system, so that we could not see the outside. Then one more system is connected with the reproductive system, that is the urinary bladder. Then ejaculatory duct which passes through the prostate and opens into the urethra. And the ejaculatory duct which passes through the prostate gland. This region is the prostate gland. Then the prostate gland opens into the urethra. Then the urethra is the terminal portion of the male reproductive system. Urethra is the end portion of the male reproductive system. So what happens in a male reproductive system? In male reproductive system, the semen as well as the urine both come out in the common opening but in different times. These urethra tube originate from the urinary bladder. This region is the urinary bladder, extends to the penis and extends through the penis by an external opening called urinogenital duct. This part is the urinogenital duct in this region. The urethra. So what happens in the male reproductive system? Both urine and semen come out in the common opening but in different time. Come out not only in the same time but in the different times. The urethra originate from the urinary bladder. Now let us discuss about the accessory glands. What are the accessory glands present in the male reproductive system? There are three types of accessory glands present in the male reproductive system. One is seminal vesicle, second one is the pulpourethral gland or Houbers gland, third one is the prostate gland. The seminal vesicle and the pulpourethral gland are two in number, but in the prostate gland is one prostate gland present in the male reproductive system. First let us study about details in seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle secrete an alkaline fluid called seminal plasma. Then seminal plasma contains fructose, sugar, ascorbic acid, prostaglandin and coagulating enzyme. That enzyme is called the vesiculae. Then the vesiculae enhance the sperm motility. Next, the pulpourethral gland or Houbers gland. Before that, let us see about the external genitalia. External genitalia, the penis. Penis is external genitalia. It is a very important copulatory organ. The external outer layer is called glans penis. Penis is covered by a loose fold of skin called foreskin. Next, the second accessory gland, that is the pulpourethral gland or Houbers gland. What are the function of pulpourethral gland or Houbers gland? Pulpourethral gland secretion helps in the lubrication of the penis. There are two in number present in the male reproductive system. Then the prostate gland. Prostate gland is the gland present in the urinary bladder. It secretes the acidic fluid. The acidic fluid contains citrate, several enzymes and prostate specific antigens. Semen or seminal fluid is milky white which contains sperm and seminal plasma. From this topic we would expect some important question. Let us discuss one by one. First one is, which organ acts as a thermoregulator? Scrotum acts as a thermoregulator. The second one is, what is cryptoprism? The failure of one or both testes to lie down into the scrotal sac is called cryptoprism. The next one is, what is the function of Sertoli cells? Sertoli cells provide nourishment to the sperm till their maturation. What is the difference between vas deferens and vasa efferentia? Vasa efferentia arises from the rest testis and open into the epididymis and conduct spermatozoa out from the testis, whereas in the vas deferens is a thick muscular tube. It arising from each epididymis. It also conducts spermatozoa, but the spermatozoa from the epididymis to the base of the urinary bladder. The next one is, draw a labeled diagram of male reproductive system. This picture has many parts. We could fill in the important parts of the male reproductive system. One is seminal vesicle. This region is the seminal vesicle. Next one is the pulpourethral gland. This region is the seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle. Next is the pulpoid gland. 2 in number. Next one is the urethra. Urethra. This urethra originates from the urinary bladder. It ends in the penis. So urethra is the terminal end of the male reproductive system. Then this is the epididymis. This region is the epididymis. The outermost covering of the testis is called the epidermis, or it lies above the testis is known as epididymis. Next one is the testis, the oval shaped. This region, the oval shaped testis is known as the oval shaped parts is known as testis. There are 2 in number. Testis is a singular word. Testis is the plural word. Next one is the ureter, urinary bladder connected with the ureter. Then urinary bladder. This region is the urinary bladder. Next one is this part is the prostate gland. Single prostate gland present in the male reproductive system. Next one is the vas deferens. The epididymis is connected with a long tube. The tube is known as vas deferens. The outside covering of the penis is known as the glans penis. These are all the important parts of the male reproductive system. Thank you for watching. நன்றி.